Row 19 is a little bit more complicated than some of the other rows. It contains some familiar elements, but there are a few of them in this row. So we're going to close this gap in the first portal, and we're going to expand the channels on the other side, and we're also starting the live loop on the second portal. So we start with our cable. In the familiar manner, we are doing a front post extended single crochet to start with as our boundary stitch. Then we're going to work our 3 live loop single crochets. That's the second one. And then the third one, so hook into the loop on the holder, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through again. So we've got our 3 live loop on the hook as well as the original boundary stitch. We do our final front post extended single crochet to finish this. Then we put our stitch holder on the middle 3 stitches. Slide the hook off and pick up the 2 outside stitches, yarn over, pull it through both of those. Now we're going to skip over this last stitch in color 2 and go straight into the next cable with a front post extended single crochet, just like the first one. So this closes the gap between the 2 cables that surround this portal, giving us the setup for the next row where we start crossing the portals. So we'll go on to make our 3 live loop single crochet stitches on this cable. Yarn over, pull it through, yarn over again, and our third little one here. And finally the boundary stitch, which is another front post extended single crochet. Move our yarn holder up, and complete that cable behind the holder there. We go on to our channel where we're going to do 2 extended single crochet, and I'm picking up my float. Sorry, we're doing 2 center post crochet, and I'm picking up my float. And then I'm going to put 2 of those stitches into the next stitch. So this takes our channel of center post single crochets up to 4. So that gives us 4 stitches across here between the 2 portals, and then we go on to the second portal here, which is in the previous row was 2 center post single crochets. We're going to start the cabling by adding a live loop single crochet, but first we do our front post extended single crochet as we have done previously. Then we go back into that stitch and do a second one, but in this case we're not going to finish that stitch, we're leaving it on the hook there, and then we move on to the next front post stitch and we do the same. So I've now got 3 loops on the hook, and I'll put that center one on the holder and then slip the stitches off the hook, pick up the 2 outside stitches and complete the extended single crochet. Now we're slipping over to colour 2, so I'm doing a chain to change colours after a front post, and just giving that a little bit of a tug to tighten it up and make it a little bit neater. And then I've got my 2 stitches here in colour 2. There's the first one, which is a complete stitch. Here's the second centre post single crochet, and because I'm changing colours, I don't complete that last loop, so I put it through with colour 1, and that finishes off that. And then I'm going on to start the second cable in this portal. I'll start with my front post single crochet, and then I pick up the second stitch on the same stitch there, but I don't complete it. I leave it on the hook, and then I move on to the next front post stitch. So I've got 3 front post single crochet stitches on the hook here, and I'm going to add a stitch marker, and then that will be the beginnings of the second cable. So here we go, we'll pick up that center stitch, put it onto the holder, working behind that stitch holder, slide my hook out, and if you rotate your hook as you do that, it makes it easier. Yarn over, pull it through. Then we come back and we're expanding this channel to 4 stitches. So we start with 2 center post single crochets. Then in the third stitch here, we're going to put 2 center post single crochet stitches, and we have completed the segment. So we will complete that 4 more times and we'll have finished row 19.